Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. Today we are talking about each and every Jedi and Sith. The Star Wars saga, movies and TV shows, encapsulate an abundance of epic American storytelling. This is our mythology, kids. We didn't come up with the Greek gods, the Roman gods. I think the Greeks and the Romans came up with them. But Star Wars, George Lucas, America, this is ours. We're not touching the extended universe canon. There's way too much of that. So we're gonna start off with Qui-Gon Jinn. Game, he only joined the franchise about 2 decades ago. This franchise has been happening since, I think, 1642. It's one of the oldest movie franchises in the world. George Lucas went back and made the prequels, man. So he introduced the ultimate Jedi, Qui-Gon Jinn, who, from the moment we see them in The Phantom Menace, him and a young Ben Kenobi, oh, they're badasses. The Jedis have turned into superheroes, for heaven's sakes, man. They take long jumps, they run real fast, they can block many shots with a lightsaber. It's incredible. The presentation that we get of a Jedi, thanks to Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn. No damn good with a lightsaber, though. Got himself killed pretty easily. I mean, he good with it, don't get me wrong, but like Darth Maul, much better. Next up, Anakin Skywalker. We'd heard the name of Anakin Skywalker, you know, in the Return of the Jedi.
He ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader.
And then in Return of the Jedi, we saw the face of Anakin Skywalker. And in that trilogy, that was poetic, very poignant. Then when George Lucas went back and did the prequels, he was like, you know what the story is? The story's about the little boy who becomes Darth Vader. We watch him go from a hopeful little boy full of love for his mom to a Tusken Raider killing psychopath. You know, you look at that movie where, you know, he comes back and he's talking about like, I went out there and I killed them all.
And not just the men.
And you were like, that's a little dark. Well, hold my beer, because later on, thanks to Order 66, Anakin Skywalker is going to cut children down with a lightsaber. Something that I honestly thought they were going to correct in Obi-Wan Kenobi. I thought they were going to reveal that he didn't really kill those kids. He just had them all come over to the dark side. Because why would you have your main character be that fucking evil? He's a broken little kid. But unlike Batman, who's also a broken little kid who's like, I'm going to do the right thing, this son of a bitch, holy shit, did nothing right until the very fucking end. Now, you can have a whole ass conversation about Anakin Skywalker and not even touch the hem of the cape. Next up, the man himself, Darth Vader. Hands down, the greatest cinematic bad guy in movie history.
Where are those transmissions you intercepted?
The appearance alone is visually captivating. Not just for a child, for adults as well, but for a kid, like we didn't know if he was a robot or not. Like there was no internet, so you couldn't be like, is Darth Vader a robot or a human being? Everyone always hopes there's a little piece of Anakin Skywalker left inside Darth Vader, and you know, his son is the one that, God, I get so emotional talking about make pretend shit. His son's the one that was able to kind of deliver him. That's beautiful. Next up, Yoda. The king of the Jedi. Oh, we all love Yoda. You know, Star Wars was a massive hit. Empire comes out, they're like, we gotta show him something new. And they gave him Yoda, a Muppet, for heaven's sakes, man. Came right from Jim Henson's Creature Shop, voiced by the great Frank Oz himself. This character captures the imagination, because he don't look like us. Every other character who's a Jedi you look at and you could compare yourself to. This is a magical creature. We don't even know what Yoda's race species is. We just know that, boy, oh boy, he controls the Force like a big bad way. And he's so tiny. He's trial size, he's fun size. And still, he can be that tiny and have that much power. Next up, Count Dooku, played by the great Christopher Lee. One of the greatest lightsaber battles in the history of all the Star Wars movies. Never gets enough credit. Everyone always goes for Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Maul for the Duel of the Fates and shit, but Yoda popping around the room and beating the shit out of Count Dooku. Especially when he comes out and he's like, Count Dooku. Absolute bliss. Next up, Darth Sidious.
Look what you have made.
Or the Emperor, as we've always known him. Boy, this guy, he just sticks around, man. He's like gum on a shoe. Even when they kill him, they throw him off Darth Vader kills him in Return of the Jedi. You know, he's responsible for all this. Ultimately, Anakin Skywalker makes his own choices, but this guy is like, you know, the dark Jiminy Cricket on his shoulder being like, you know, it's better if we fucking have all the power. Don't hide. Don't be the Phantom Menace, be the Menace. Be a menace to society, if you will. Next up, we got Obi-Wan Kenobi. And we get to split them into two. There's old Ben Kenobi, portrayed by the great Alec Guinness.
I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father.
And then, of course, we have Ewan McGregor, who played Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequels, and now he's playing him in the fantastic Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney+.
Hello there.
Give it up for Alec Guinness, for heaven's sakes. He's your Jedi grandpa. Everybody knows him. He's familiar. Not much of a lightsaber fighter, as we saw from that final battle with him and Darth Vader. But young Ben Kenobi, young Obi-Wan, oh, just watch him fight. Look at him kill Darth Maul in the prequels. Look at him fight Anakin Skywalker again in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Next up, Mace Windu. Hands down the coolest Jedi on the planet, got a purple lightsaber. What more you need to say about him, for heaven's sakes? This is Samuel L. Jackson. They really should have just named the character Samuel L. Jackson. Next up, Luke Skywalker. Oh, look, this is the only Skywalker you should ever give a fuck about.
Use the Force, Luke.
Skywalker, the original hero. This is the one that George Lucas carved from the writings of Joseph Campbell, the mythic hero. He's a nobody. He's a zero from a foreign planet. Fucking nobody knows this guy. He got no specific powers and stuff. He whines about power converters.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
And somehow the fate of the galaxy depends on him by the end of this movie. I know exactly what my favorite Luke Skywalker moment is, and it belongs most recently to The Mandalorian. Luke Skywalker shows up, and he does everything that you ever wanted him to do. He is the Jedi that you dreamed he would become by the end of Return of the Jedi. Takes people out left and right, just no problem whatsoever. It is absolute bliss. We were given the version of Luke Skywalker that we always hoped that we would see. Hats off to Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau for finally bringing him to that place. And boom, he gets there. He is a Jedi master. Next up, Jar Binks. I know on the internet there's some people that maintain that Jar Binks is a Sith Lord. I disagree. I think Jar Binks, though, is a character that can easily be redeemed. Now, mind you, he doesn't have to be redeemed for everybody. All you gotta do is make this dude a badass killer in a TV show. Just give him Misa kills. Next up, Ahsoka Tano, who is a character who came from the animated series. Is a character I absolutely love, not just because now she's being played by Rosario Dawson. She was the Padawan, if you will, to Anakin Skywalker. So just as Anakin Skywalker was a Padawan to Ben Kenobi was a Padawan to Qui-Gon, Ahsoka was a Padawan to Anakin Skywalker, and so she was tight with him while he was still Anakin Skywalker, and then, of course, we know eventually he becomes Darth Vader. And so their friendship, their bond completely splits, and there's an amazing episode of Rebels where Ahsoka encounters Anakin as Darth Vader for the first time. She hasn't seen Anakin in years, and it is incredibly powerful. It is emotional as hell because she's fighting like her best friend, almost a father figure.
Anakin Skywalker was weak. I destroyed him.
Then I will avenge his death.
At one point, she gets the upper hand and she fucking slices his fucking mask, and you see Anakin. They just kind of repeated it on Obi-Wan Kenobi. And you see Anakin underneath, and he looks at her and he says,
Ahsoka.
Anakin.
And she melts. And she's like, and then he comes back as Vader and just goes back at him. But Ahsoka was the one that took him as far as she could to get to a Luke Skywalker moment where his son could redeem him. I don't think you get that Luke Skywalker redemption of Anakin Skywalker without Ahsoka Tano in the process.
There's been an awakening.
Next up, Supreme Leader Snoke.
Have you felt it?
This character was a mystery for most of the sequels. Some people were online were like, that's Mace Windu. You're gonna find out that's Mace Windu after he got pitched out the window by the Emperor. He got saved and they turned him into Emperor Snoke. Not true.
Fulfill your destiny.
The great Andy Serkis portrayed him, and Andy Serkis takes that motion capture stuff very seriously. It was unexpected, you know, because you're like, well, that's the big bad, and we're gonna deal with him for all three. Holy shit. But we found out he was cloned and shit like that. Next up, Grogu. Let me tell you, every moment of Grogu in The Mandalorian is absolute magic.
Good job.
There has been no false moves with that character. There's been no moment where you're like, Grogu wouldn't do that. pitch perfect character development. Something to be said for having a character that doesn't speak. Something I've always believed in. Next up, Darth Maul. One of the single best looking characters in a Star Wars movie and one of the single biggest losers in all of Star Wars. One movie he gets where he's badass and he's probably the best lightsaber fighter we've ever seen. Ray Park, who played Darth Maul, can do all sorts of flips and kicks. You got this incredible display of look at the power of this Sith. And then he just gets fucking cut in half like a sandwich by the end of the movie, man, by Obi-Wan Kenobi. When we saw those posters when Phantom Menace was coming out, we're like, that's the new Darth Vader. And by the end of the movie, we're like, oh no, that's the new Wampa from Empire Strikes Back. He's in, he's out. Next up, Reva, the third sister. Wonderful origin story, wonderful story, great character arc. A lot of people online like went after her because people were like, I want Star Wars to be fucking white or whatever the fuck. But I thought Moses did a phenomenal job. More importantly, the character herself, poignant, you know, and terrifying. And to tie her origin in with Anakin Skywalker literally killing her, and she just happened to live through it. Traumatizing, to say the least. So I thought that character was a welcome addition to the Star Wars lore. Next up, Rey, or Rey Skywalker, as we found out at the end of the last JJ movie. She took that name. She's like, I'm gonna keep that name going. Great character. Some people online were like, how's she know how to do all this fucking Force shit? She just found out. Bro, rewind, watch Star Wars. How's he know how to do that fucking Force shit?
Use the Force, Luke.
God took down the Empire, like almost single-handedly. And he didn't know nothing. Just like Luke, she too doesn't know who her parents are. Her story, she don't have an Uncle Ben and an Aunt Beru to raise her and stuff. She traded and sold and shit like that. Pretty heartbreaking. Next up, Kylo Ren takes the I'm not understood as a teenager trope to like the highest degree, to a murderous degree. Adam Driver is an amazing actor, so I'll watch him do anything. He's the son of Leia and Han. And, you know, I shipped that relationship hard in the 80s. So, you know, I was happy to see, oh, the results of that relationship. In the books, they had kids as well, but in the movies, they got this one kid. And then that son of a bitch went and fucking killed Han Solo. He killed one of my favorite people. Like, look, you got issues, everybody got issues with their parents, right? We all got complaints, some more than others and stuff. From what I understand, Han Solo didn't do anything to this kid. Certainly didn't do anything you deserve to be killed by him, shit. So, Kylo Ren, you go fuck yourself. You robbed me of my childhood. There it is, my friends. That's the Jedis and the Sith we're getting to today. Now, mind you, there are many, many more that we didn't get to, and I can hear all of you out there on the internet right now going, you call yourself an expert? What about blank, blank, blank? Yes, it's a mainstream piece for people who aren't as familiar with Star Wars as you. Tell me in the comments how badly I did. I've been on the internet for 30 years, so I'm used to that sort of thing.